Hey everybody, it's Wendy with loveandstampin.com. Thanks for joining me today. Excited you're here. We're going to make a fun fold scene card. Get a cup of coffee, pause the video, get a cup of coffee, get a glass of wine, and settle in because this is a 30-minute video. I did not edit any of it because let's face it, we all need to check out right now and just chat and hang. So, supplies are listed on the screen a little bit ago there. You can pause it if you want to see the supply list. You can also go over to my blog and the supplies are listed there. And all you have to do is click on the images and you can actually purchase them in my online store. Super easy to do. Links are below the video as well. The measurements that I'm using today are listed here in this section. That Whisper White cardstock is 4 1/4 by 11, and I'm scoring it at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. And I'm doing the exact same thing with this piece of Pool Party cardstock that's cut at 1 inch by 11 inches. So I'm going to fold this like a Z fold card over and then back. And then we're going to add all of my designer series paper elements. I used the Peaceful Moments designer series paper, and we're going to layer that on. Now, full disclosure, I created this card and video about 2.5 weeks ago, and now I'm just now voiceovering it. So when I actually made this, I was in a different space. I have moved. If you have not been following me on social media, I moved into a new craft space, which is phenomenal, but holy crap, let me just tell you, moving spaces, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but I wanted to just give you the disclaimer that if there's a few things I forget to tell you in the video about the card or something like that, it's just because I filmed it so long ago, so just hang with me. So these pieces here, again, measurements are listed on the screen, but these are cut at 2 1/2 by 4, and then the bigger piece was cut at 4 by 5 1/4. So we're just layering them all down. Anything that you want in the background of the scene card needs to happen first before you add your scene strip. So I am doing the folding, and we're literally just going to go opposite. So we're flipping it over and we're putting it together opposite of how the card folds. Does that make sense? So when it opens like this. Isn't that cool? So super simple. Lots and lots of people have made these types of cards. I am not the first one, but I do want to show you here really quick. This is why you don't do it the same way. It's nothing fancy if you do it that way. You have to flip it over and you have to make it go opposite. So what I am going to do is add my glue. I don't know what I'm doing. Where am I going? Oh, yeah. So Pool Party ink. I used this to stamp a pattern all across this piece of cardstock because I really wanted to make this kind of feel like water. So this scene is obviously not true to accuracy by any means. I mean, it's a card, right? But the thing with card making is you can make stuff feel a certain way, even if it's not totally accurate. So my goal with this was to just kind of make it feel like water and that there was a boat and a dock happening in and around the water. So we're going to attach this down to the edge there and then attach the other side to the front part of the card. So, all right, while I'm doing this, and then we're just going to decorate. So I'm not going to guide you through the decorations because honestly, with a scene card, you just have to build the scene however you want to build the scene. We will hop back and forth with tips between the card and story time, chit chat, but ultimately building a scene is kind of up to you as to what you want it to look like. I wanted this to feel like there was a serene lake that you're visiting and, you know, just nice visits, hanging out, fishing. Here's a tip on these. I cut them out in garden green cardstock, and then I'm using my soft suede Stampin' Blends to color the cattails. As far as I know, that's what those are called. And I flipped one of them over. So as you can see here, 2 of them are facing to the right, one's facing to the left. All I did was flip one over onto the other side because I didn't want them going all the same way. I have these 2 oars, and I'm going to use crumb cake ink to color them a little bit. However, I want to just tell you I ended up not using these. So I cut these out in crumb cake cardstock, and I didn't realize they are big. So there's 2 different sizes of oars. There's an oar in the stamp set that you stamp and color and cut out, and then there's these that you can just cut out, and they actually have a texture to them, but there's no stamp that coordinates with them. So these ended up being too big for what I was doing, and I had to end up stamping some and coloring them and cutting them out. But at first I thought I was going to use these, so that's why these are in the video. I never end up using them on the card, but I just save them for later. Anytime I have a little mess up or a bloop, I just save it and use it in a future card, or it's something that my daughter gets to use at some point, because I have a drawer full of stuff that I let her access and use when she wants to. Okay, so let's chit chat, shall we? First, let me just fill you in on what's going on, because I feel like I've been missing for so long, even though really I haven't. It's just, I'm so used to blogging and doing videos for you guys so often that if I miss like even one video, it feels like forever to me, which is so weird. So I moved out of our home into a space that is kind of like an added shed, I guess you will say, and we converted it into a craft space for me. It's beautiful. It's big. I don't have all my furniture yet. So here's the thing. People are literally going crazy wanting me to do a tour, and I can't do a tour until I have all my furniture, and I can't get all my furniture until IKEA opens again. So I can't promise you when the tour will happen. All I can promise you is that it will happen, and it will be phenomenal when it does. And bonus, I actually filmed myself in my space that was prior to this so that you could see the difference and the change. So I was kind of proud of myself, actually, that I thought of doing that. Okay, side note to the card. I'm using soft suede light and dark, and I'm just going in dark in any area that I feel like would be a shadow or that would be dark. So on this dock, right underneath the boards would be darker. And then I'm just making the edges of the boards darker. Don't really know why, just trying to add some dimension. When something is all one color, it really does kind of make it difficult to add a whole lot of dimension. Okay, all the things. Let's see, where else do we need to talk about? So I've been moving. It has been a major undertaking getting moved. We're adding like a mini split heat and air unit into the room so that I will have heat and air. And my husband did most of it, but the guy came out and he was like, I need to have another guy here, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I still don't have heat and air, so I'm using a little space heater. And then the heat and air guy should be back this week. And we are just plugging along as far as all the other things. I have my daughter at home with me. She is now homeschooling. Her teacher has made contact with her. I also have my nieces because my sister-in-law has to work. So that's been interesting. My sister, however, is staying at home because she's kind of probably in a high-risk category. And so she's staying home, and as well as her children, because they also have to be homeschooled. So I can't imagine having her kids here, my kid, the other 2 kids. Like, I just can't fathom having all of that going on. Last week was a rough week. There's just absolutely no way around saying that. I stayed as positive as humanly possible. I thanked and was so grateful for all the blessings that we have, and we have a lot. But I still had moments of just feeling down. And I think that that's how this whole situation is just going to be for everybody. We're just going to all do the very best we can. And we are going to have moments where we're down, and we're going to have moments where we thrive. And that's okay. It is okay to feel all the feelings and move through the process however you move through it. So we are doing our best. Husband is still having to go to work because he is an essential employee because of what he does. And so he has to still go to work. We are at higher risk for contracting the virus because of that. And that's okay too. You know, I mean, God's got this. I'm past the point of worrying. At this point, I just am like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. This is life, people. We can't control it. And, you know, giving up control is something that's really hard for me because I am a control freak and I'm a type A personality. So I'm just there, though. I'm there. I'm at the place where I'm like, God, you have this. You know, He knows what's going to happen before it ever even happens. So I'm just not going to worry, and I'm going to let it be in His hands, and I'm going to move forward. And I'm going to do my best each day to bring joy and light to the world, because that's, you know, even if it's a small thing, even if it's a small amount of joy, even if it's only through card making, it's something. And so that's my goal. And I hope that you embrace a goal like that as well. You know, you're all card makers. Make cards for people right now. There's no better time. Honestly, there is literally no better time than right now to be making cards and sending them to people that you love, and encouraging them. So all of that being said, let's talk about some other fun stuff. So I am moved into my space. There is still a lot of stuff that has to be done. I ordered a desk because I was able to order that through overstock.com. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but overstock.com is a really cool website. So I ordered a desk from there. So that's coming. So that'll be great. And then I've been cooking a lot. We've been baking on Sundays. And I've been doing a lot of cooking because we're home. So, you know, there's that. And I actually have really enjoyed it, if I'm being totally honest. I've really enjoyed the slowness that has come with this, of not running around a million places and not being on the go constantly. And, you know, it's really, really been wonderful. So that's been nice. Let's talk Stampin' Up! Really quick. So I actually had some emails from people, God bless them, that were like, I'd love to place an order with you, but I'm assuming Stampin' Up! Is closed. Nope, Stampin' Up! Is not closed. As of the moment that I am recording this video, Stampin' Up! Is still shipping product. So unless a situation comes where they have to close their warehouses, they will continue to ship products and keep us in stock of crafting supplies. So I'm recording this video, or putting it out there, I should say, on March 30th. March 31st is the very last day for Celebration. So Celebration is a really cool promotion that Stampin' Up! Does every year. And they basically give you free product for every $50 you spend, and then other free product for every $100 you spend. So there's a lot of free product that you can still get. And again, that's over on March 31st. So the other thing that's over on March 31st is joining my team and being able to get a bunch of freebies. So if you want to purchase the starter kit, if you are going to place a $100 order, you may as well purchase the starter kit, because when you do, you get $125 in product. You get a free mini cutter, and this is just till March 31st, a free mini cutter, free paper sampler pack, a free stamp set of your choice. There's like all these things. And so you're getting tons more for your money than you would if you join basically any other time. So it's just, you know, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. If you're going to place a $100 order, you may as well purchase the starter kit. It's going to end up saving you a lot of money, because then you get 20% off all of your orders after that. And you get to be part of my team. And we did the funnest thing yesterday. We did a Zoom meeting where we met on Zoom, which is interesting because I've been using Zoom for years, but it's funny now, lots of people are getting on Zoom and using it. And in fact, my daughter's teacher is using Zoom to connect. So I think that that's fun. But we had a Zoom meeting and we just played games, and it was super fun because obviously none of us can get together. And most of my team is spread out throughout the United States anyway. So I'm not able to get together with them in person anyway. So it's just a really fun way to connect, and it's free. So that's cool too. Okay. So what else is happening? I don't know. Not a lot, because I haven't left my dang house. I don't know if any of you are getting cabin fever, but I'm not. I don't know why. I can't tell you why, but I'm really not. I haven't had cabin fever yet. Probably because we've been so busy with the move. If we hadn't had this project going on, I think it would be much different. But I have days worth of work ahead of me, not just with moving. I've pretty much got everything moved, but with organizing it, getting it set up the way I want it and need it. And then I have a room in the house now that is empty that needs attention. So it needs to be cleaned, it needs to be painted, it needs stuff done to it. And I can't really do any of that stuff yet. I'm focusing on my new space first. So I've got plenty of things to keep me busy. I mean, Mondo Mega, more than enough. In fact, there was a part of me that was like, kind of handy being quarantined right now, because I can't go anywhere or do anything to distract me from getting done what needs to get done. So that's kind of been a blessing. Just silver linings, you got to look at the silver linings. And I'm not trying to minimize. I always feel like I have to say this. I'm not minimizing anybody who's struggling or who is in a bad way, or who's lost their job or any of that. My good Lord, I can't even tell you how much I have grieved for you if that's your situation. I have cried tears for the kids. In fact, it's making me emotional just talking about it. The kids that are staying home right now and not being able to go to school, that don't have a good home life. That just nearly makes me sick to my stomach, because I know that school for a lot of kids is their refuge. It's their place that they can go to be safe and be fed and all of that. And so, that has just broke my heart. I have to just not think about it, right? So there's some things that you just have to actually put out of your mind with intention, because if you dwelled on it or if you thought about it too much, you would go in a really dark place, and I can't do that. My daughter's depending on me not to do that. I have to be strong for her. So yeah, she has had a couple little breakdowns because she's not going to get to probably do her 6th grade graduation stuff, and she's sad about that. But overall, she's doing pretty good. I asked her the other day, how are you doing? How are you holding up? And she was like, I'm just pretending like it's not happening. And I was like, well, can't fault you there, sister. I'm with you. So she's just like, I'm just going to pretend like this isn't happening and keep going on with my life and be happy. In fact, right now as I'm recording this, she's walking around outside my window and she just held up a Sprite at me like, can I have this? Because I'm recording this video on a Sunday, and Sunday is her day to have sweets. We both are observing Lent, and she gave up having any sort of sugar or sweets except for Sundays. And her theory with that was even God rested one day. That's what she told me. It killed me. And we aren't Catholic, so whenever I tell somebody that we observe Lent, people they ask or they make a statement, but you're not Catholic. And I'm like, no, we're not, but Jesus died for me too. So we're just observing Lent, and we do that. We have done that. This is our second year in a row of doing that. And so you don't have to be Catholic to observe Lent, FYI. Just so you know, you don't have to be Catholic. Not that there's anything wrong with it if you are Catholic, but I'm just saying you can also participate in Lent and not be Catholic. It's totally fine. So anyway, I'm trying to think of what else is going on. Oh my gosh, you guys, so many things, but yet nothing all at the same time. Isn't that funny? I have quit watching the news. I do not turn it on at all. I do not go online and look at it at all. It serves zero purpose for me, and my husband keeps up on it. So I feel like if there was anything very serious that I needed to know about, he would tell me. But other than that, I just kind of ignore it and take my daughter's advice, pretend like it's not happening. So, if you build one of these scene cards, I would really love to see it, by the way. And you can do that multiple ways. You could take a picture of it and email it to me, or you could post it on social media and tag me in it, and then I will see it. But I would love to see what people do with this card design, meaning just this fun fold and building a scene. So here's where I decide and figure out, these oars are like as big as this boat. This ain't gonna work. So here's the difference in the size. So I decided I'm trying to make it work because I'm lazy. And I'm like, I don't really want to have to stamp another thing. Side note, I don't know about you guys, but we have been FaceTiming and connecting with people that we generally don't do that with. And it's been really cool. It's kind of been neat to like spend time with people over the phone and get to still see them and visit with them. I do miss hugging people. So that is something I'll never take for granted again as long as I live, is giving somebody a hug. I will tell you that. It's very hard not to hug people. I mean, obviously I've been hugging my family, my daughter and my husband, but like, you know, my mom, my sister-in-law, my sister. Yeah, those things have been tough. And sister and I have been FaceTiming, so that's been fun too. In fact, I was thinking it might be fun for her and I to try to do some sort of live thing here on YouTube where we Zoom together and craft or do something. So if that's something that you would be interested in us doing, comment below and let me know, and I'll see if we can figure it all out. I can't make any promises, but I can try. And then here I'm like, okay, now I've stamped these and then I have to cut them out. I added Wink of Stella to the frogs because why not? I mean, dang, they're so cute. And so I added Wink of Stella to those, and I added Wink of Stella to the oars, and that's actually how I colored them. So little info there, if you stamp something in a solid color like crumb cake, which is what I think I used, or soft suede, you can then take your Wink of Stella pen and color, and it will pull the color into the image. So that's how these end up being like a light brown color. And you can do that. And then all you have to do is take your Wink of Stella and kind of wipe it off on a scratch piece of paper until it's clear again, and then it's clean. And so you can just keep using it in different colors. You don't have to have a different Wink of Stella for every color, FYI. So, anyway, I feel like this whole video, I've basically just rambled about a bunch of nothing, but I wanted to catch up with you guys and just visit with you, and I am hopefully going to get to create this week. That is my goal, is to get to create some fun stuff and share it with you and get to do some more YouTube videos, because legit, I have not created anything in like 2 weeks, and I'm starting to worry I don't know how anymore. So that's my goal. My goal this week is to be creative and be able to share it with you and make fun stuff. And hopefully that will actually happen. No promises, but I'm hoping. So, yeah. anybody doing anything fun and exciting that at home, like give me games to play, movies to watch, Netflix shows to binge. Has anybody watched The Tiger King? I watched I think a glimpse of an episode of it, and I was like, this is super weird. But everybody's like, it's such a train wreck. Like, you're watching it and you don't want to be watching it because you feel like it's really bad, but at the same time, you can't help yourself. So I was thinking today or tonight, I might have to watch a couple episodes just since everybody's talking about it on my Facebook feed. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll watch a little bit of the Tiger King to see what he's got going on. So here I'm just adding in all my little elements to finish off this card. And I've got my frog in my boat, and I got some birds that are going to fly. Look how cute he is, sticking up. And then I got my birds that are going to fly in the sky. And I think I'm adding a couple other frogs, and then the sentiment. So I kind of regret how I did the sentiment. I ended up doing a circle punch and stamping a happy birthday sentiment inside of it. And putting it on the second flap there, you'll see. And then it sticks out underneath. And I didn't really think that through. So a tip for making these kinds of cards is you have to remember that when you open it and close it, it's going to look different. So if you put an element on it, you want to make sure that when it's closed or when it's opened, it still looks okay. Because for example, if I would have put that frog on that middle flap, when I close this, I would have seen the back of the frog. Okay. So here, now I see the two little frogs stacked together and they're cute. Here's where I make my mistake. I take the Whisper White cardstock, I stamp the sentiment, happy birthday, in the soft suede ink, and then I punch it out and add it with a circle punch. So then the bottom of the circle punch sticks out on that second flap. I wish I would have either added the circle punch to the first flap, or I wish I would have cut this as a strip. See, I add it right here, which looks cute with it open, right? But when it's closed, you're going to see the back of it, and it doesn't look as cute. And I just didn't think it through. This is where the current me wants to reach into the past me and be like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do that. But it's too late. It's done. So then I add the little frog next to it, which is adorable. And all in all, it's a cute card, and I'm going to give it to my husband for his birthday because he is going to be 45 this year, and his birthday's in April. So I'm saving this card to give to him because he loves to fish, he loves the lake, he loves being outdoors, and so this just was the perfect card for him. And I'm just letting this all set up and dry. And then the last thing I wanted to add was these epoxy droplets. I'm sure you guys have seen me in other videos use these epoxy droplets. I am currently obsessed with them. I'm adding them to everything, and this card probably did not need them, but I could not help myself. I had to add them. I had to. So they got added to the card, and they are still very cute and perfectly fine. Look, I'm trying to decide, does it go here? Does it go there? I don't know. So, yeah, I'm very happy with how the card turned out all in all. Okay, so if you need any of the products that I've used today or want them, you can purchase them in my online store. Stampin' UP shipping is a little bit delayed because they're taking lots of precautions. So their shipping is a little delayed. See it sticking out there? Dang it. I wish I would have put it on the front. Anyway, shipping is a little bit delayed, but the stuff is still shipping. So don't worry about that. And like I said, until March 31st, you can get freebies when you order, or you can take advantage of that awesome starter kit bundle purchase and get that. You can go to my shop at shoploveandstampin.com. You can go to my blog for more inspiration at loveandstampin.com. And you can click either video you see here to watch them, click the circle with my face in it to subscribe, and click the little bell so that you get notifications when I have a new video. Talk to you later. Bye.